What's going on YouTube? Ronin Frog 87 here, guys, and today on today's edition of Forbidden Friday, I want to talk about emergency teleport and whether or not it needs to go to 1. Now, the reason why I wanted to do this video is because I was watching Mega Capital G's video the other day, and he was like predicting a bunch of stuff about the ban list and what might get hit, what might come back and stuff, and yada yada yada. But the thing that caught my interest the most was emergency teleport, and he is of the opinion that it needs to go to 1, and I kind of disagree with him. And before I get into the reasons as to why I disagree with him, I'm gonna basically sum up his main points. He's saying because it's seeing a lot of play in a lot of decks. Most notably Kozmos and Super Quantum Monarchs, and basically in any deck that basically can splash the Super Quantum mechanic, the engine, and it's pretty good. I don't blame people for doing that because hell, there was this volcanic deck, and you guys know I love volcanics, that splashed the engine and it top 8 in. So I forgot where. I believe it was Germany, but that was really interesting. And his main, Cap's main arguments are that it's seen in a lot of decks now, and and if he was basically saying also that if you put teleport to 1, it's really not gonna hurt Kozmos because they'll probably find other ways to replace it, especially since they're gonna get more support in Shining Victories. And yeah, those are some pretty valid points, but I really don't see Konami, limiting it to 1, and here's why. And because they still need to sell Kozmos. Konami have been doing a so-so job at selling Kozmos. I mean, they did a really great job on selling Burning Abyss, but they just haven't hit their stride with Kozmos, and I don't know why. But they still need to push Kozmos, and putting teleport to 1 might hurt that. Now granted, if you're a Kozmos player, most likely you spent a lot of money assembling that deck, and if Konami hit teleport to 1, I don't think you're gonna give up on your deck just yet, as we've seen with Pepe. With Pepe, Konami banhammered the hell out of that deck, but it's still surviving. It's still top 8ing everywhere, and that deck is not dead. The same with Kozmos. If they put, if Konami put teleport to 1, just by the sheer fact that Kozmos was so expensive to make, I don't think Kozmo players will, just abandon it. They'll find some way, somehow, to replace teleport. They'll do it because they spent so much money on the Kozmo deck that they're just not gonna want to get rid of it willy nilly. However, since Konami is still pushing Kozmos, and there's going to be Kozmos support in Shining Victories, and if you're someone who has not played Kozmos just yet, but you want to play Kozmos, you're looking to play Kozmos, and if Konami hit teleport to 1, that might deter you from wanting to play Kozmos, because teleport is a key card in the deck. It may not be the best card in the deck, but it's an essential piece of it. And yes, I know Kozmos will still survive without it, but just imagine you're looking to playing Kozmos and they hit one of like the best cards in the deck. That might deter you from playing it, and thus it's gonna undercut Konami's sales of Kozmos. Also, I don't know, I just have this gut feeling that Konami's not gonna hit this card. Sure, they hit a bunch of Pepe cards, but they met their quota on Breakers of Shadow, and they're still gonna have to sell Shining Victories. And one of the selling points of Shining Victories is gonna be Kozmos. And if you hit their key card, I think that'll just hurt the sales. I don't know, that's just me, and something just tells me that Emergency Teleport is a very good card, and it's starting to see a lot of play in a lot of decks, especially the decks that splash the Super Quantum engine. But that still doesn't, Wing Raiders just came out, and this card got reprinted in there, and all the Super Quantum cards are in there, and Konami still needs to sell that set. But who knows, I may be wrong. Alright guys, I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with Cap in saying that teleport's going to go to 1, or do you agree with me saying that it's perfectly fine at 3, and you don't really see Konami hitting it to 1 anytime soon? Let me know down below. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, like, comment, subscribe, and do all that cool stuff. And as always, I'm Ronin Frog 87. I bid you farewell, and I hope to see you guys on the next one.